you ever experienced a moment where you felt stuck or lost, had no idea what the next steps were? Well, in my case, I recall a moment when 2020, yes, the year we all hate, COVID hit. And on top of that, I ended up injuring my shoulder at work, which I thought would be covered under a workers' comp. But unfortunately, due to the misuse of words and technical issues, a technicality, I was told that I had to sort out my own injury. It was then and there where I felt really low because of what I thought my loyalty to the company was enough to be recognized, but unfortunately, just another number. Before I even left to go and get this looked at, I remember everything in my head starting to get crowded. Such things I was thinking of were like, do I have any savings left? How long is the recovery process going to take? Will I actually have a job to come back to? Can I keep up with paying my rent? All the while, I was defeating myself mentally before I actually got to take that first step towards doing something for myself. And I recall when I walked into the doctor's with my head hanging down, and I remember just looking at her and telling her, "Hey, look, doc, I injured myself at work, and unfortunately, I can't claim it under workers' comp. So, can you just please give me a sick leave for the full week and some painkillers, and I'll try and figure this out myself." Then she looked at me and she said, "Ta, we can actually help you out. There is free government assistance where you can get free visits to the physiotherapist. We'll do the x-rays and ultrasounds if needed to see what's happening with your shoulder. And then we'll give you also the medication needed to keep the pain under control." And at that moment, I just felt like this partial load just fall off my shoulders. And it was such a relief because it was like all the while I felt defeated. That first step of actually seeing the doctor, because I had no choice, I was in so much pain, was literally the turning point of things then to slowly give me the opportunity to assess the situation. Did I know that all these things would unfold in such a way which would lead to like, okay, now I know what to do next? Nah. But eventually something clicked and it was like, okay, that's working. What's next? And look, like most people who are watching YouTube, all the millions and millions of consumers, I too was one of them. I recall a moment when I signed up with some digital marketing agency where I thought, yeah, I could probably make some money on the side because there's nothing else I could do, unfortunately, with the recovery of my shoulder injury. And then they sent me a book, which was The Secrets of a Millionaire Mind by T. Harv Eker. And then that book really started to paint a bigger picture of what those next steps would be for me to take into improving myself through my own self-development journey. Not knowing that's what it would lead to, only to find that was the best thing that ever happened. And all it started with was simply just reading affirmations in the mirror. Then, after a week or two, it was like, oh, okay, maybe I should add another one. Maybe I could write one that I feel like would also empower me. And just starting from reading affirmations was like, all of a sudden there's something firing and wiring away in my brain, which was like an amazing feeling. And that's when I realized, like, okay, this actually feels pretty good. Okay, so maybe I should just keep this going. Even though I was never a huge fan of reading books and that, but to actually start to apply some of these methods for myself, did I only realize how powerful they were. And although there were small actions to take, it was also something for me to keep myself accountable in making sure that I would say it each and every day. And that was just the beginning of what would be a life changing experience of establishing a morning routine that would benefit me. Even though there were mornings where I couldn't complete my whole full routine, it was still about doing something to create momentum, create that movement, and that mental exercise in order to have a balance within me from both a mental, physical, spiritual, and even financial side of things. So I just kind of wanted to jump on here and just share a little bit about that because no one ever showed me the ropes. It was all just one after another that connected. Maybe it was the universe that brought me to YouTube to end up getting a book and then connecting the dots. Then maybe it was my curiosity that got the better of me to explore it further. And since I was able to work on myself day by day, not trying to attack a whole lot of things to improve myself, but just trying to take, those first small steps along the way and trying to make sure that each step taken was something I could lock in and make sure it wasn't just a one off go at it and then forget it and then move on to the next one, but more about have a go at it, stick with it, and then alter it every now and then where you feel like, oh, maybe that's not for me. But you could always find something to adjust it to suit you. So until my next one, as I always say, stay cool.